Hey everybody, welcome in. In this video, I want to show you a question you're probably most definitely going to see on the Revit Certified User Exam. So what I have here is I have a column here, I have just a random wall. On the exam, you're probably going to see like a floor plan drawn here, but they're going to ask you to be able to create column grids. And so they'll give you the spacing of the vertical column grids. They'll give you the horizontal spacing of the column grids. And they'll ask you to kind of lay out the column grids. And then when you get done with all that, they'll have you say, okay, they'll say, tell me what the dimension is from, such and such column grid to a wall face or a wall center. So my advice is, yes, you should be able to place column grids, but look at what the question is asking you, because it could be that you're going to be going through a lot of stuff that you don't need to do in order to answer the question that they're asking. So let me give you an example. So let's just say that they want you to place a vertical column grid at the center line of this column, right? And then the spacing of the other vertical columns are going to be like 12.6, 13.6, 10.6, blah, blah, blah. So let's just do that. So to create a column grid, I'm going to go up to architecture. I'm going to go to grid here. Let's just say that I'm going to place a column grid here at the start, the center of this column here. So I'm going to click up here, drag it down. I'm going to number this starting with number 1. So I'm going to name this number 1. Press enter. So there's our first column grid. And then our next column grid is going to be 12.6 away from this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go up to offsets. I'm going to type in 12.6. I'm going to click on the pick lines tool. So I'm going to pick this column grid that I already created, and I want to go to the right. So I'm going to select that. So that one's 12.6. Then I'm going to change this. Next one is going to be 13.6. I'm going to pick grid line again. So this one is going to go to the right. And then for the last one, I'm going to offset this 10.6 and then pick line again. So I'm going to pick this one. So there's our vertical column grids, right? So that kind of took a little bit of time. And then now we need to create a horizontal column grids from the center of this grid here as well. So I'm going to go back to my architecture grid. I don't want to offset this one. This one's going to be 0. I'm going to select this line here. So it's going to be from the center of this. So somewhere over here, say, drag it over to the left. This one I'm going to start with A. Press enter. So there's our first column. And then I'm going to offset the next one 12 feet. I'm going to pick lines. So I'm going to offset it from here straight up. The next one is 14.2. Pick lines. I'm going to pick this grid line so it's offset from that one straight up. All right, so there we have our grid lines. But then the question is going to probably be something like, what is the dimension from vertical grid 4 to the outside face of this wall, right? So then you select the grid. You're going to look for the temporary dimension. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to click the little dot to make sure that this is dimensioned into the outside face here. So then you just type in your answer is 27 feet, 1 and 35 over 128, some crazy gobbledygook number. But you see how much time that took to create all those grid lines and so forth. But really what they were asking you was, what is the dimension from grid line 4 to this wall? So once you've kind of created your vertical grids and you found out where grid 4 was, you should have been, hey, that's all I need to know. I don't need to do all the rest and waste time. So just kind of figure out what that dimension is, type your answer in, and then go on to the next one. So yes, you do need to be able to do vertical and horizontal grid lines, but just kind of take a look and see what the question is asking you. And yes, I put an extra grid. I put an extra grid line here that I didn't need because it didn't close out on my command correctly. All right, so there you are. All right, so I hope that helps. All right, and yeah, make sure you know how to slap in those grid lines effectively and efficiently and effortlessly and all that good E words. All right, peace out.